Welcome to the Talking Sport Report podcast with Scotty and Eggo.
Unbelievable! That is the number. Episode 10, Scotty. Can you believe this?
10. What a milestone.
Massive milestone. My name is Eggo. This is Scotty. Scooters. Actually, we probably should get into that before we go any further in this podcast tonight. How did you get the name Scooters?
It's not important. It's got nothing to do with, what was it, year 8? Doing a test in French, and some wanker spelt their name wrong. Didn't even notice, actually, until you, sitting next to me, picked up on it. So instead of putting Scott, I put Scoot. 100% didn't realise. And
it's the best part about it is it's safe to say you aced the test, because the first question was get your name right, and you spelt Scott Scoot.
Isn't that like the SATs in America? You get like massive amounts of marks just for writing your name. I'd be fucked.
Yeah, you would be. You would be. The first question you would be. If it was one of those scenarios where, like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where if you get the question wrong, you're out, you've got a 0.
I was done. I was cooked from the start.
Absolutely. Well,
not something I expected to touch on.
No,
Thanks.
I just thought I'd better make that, because we always say Scooters, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why is old mate Scooters? Well, Scooters is Scooters because he spelled his name wrong in year 8. So episode 10, loads to get through tonight. Origin NRL with the big game this Wednesday. Football world news with a really sad news of Diego Jota passing away through the week. Liverpool superstar. We'll touch on the cricket tonight. We'll give out our gold, silver, and bronze for best fans in the NRL. I'm looking forward to this one. The votes are in, Scotty, and we have got a brilliant podium for you tonight. Comment Club, where we basically talk about, we raise any comment that you've made on either an email or you've tagged on one of our social posts through the week. And we're going to end it with my new favorite segment. It's Scotty's Tip of the Week, where we give Scotty fake $1,000. And we'll see how last week's tip goes. And we've got a new tip for you tonight, which I would highly suggest no one put any real money on, because who knows how that's going to go. Let's kick off, though, with the Talking Sport Report, another one of these lists. We're loving these lists so much. We're going to keep doing them for a while. Tonight, we want to touch on, what do you think is the worst run club in the NRL? Think about the clubs that are just piss poor at either having success or keeping their club in order. There's not many these days. There used to be way more back in the day, Scotty. But just let me kick off. I'm going to kick off with my first one tonight. I'm going to put the Tigers forward. And I think the Tigers have to go forward because the way they handled the Lockie Galvin situation is a good example. They didn't need to do a press release saying Lockie Galvin hasn't re-signed, basically trying to start a riot. And the way they handled that was shocking. The way they've handled a lot of the situation over the last few years with some of their signings, some of their like the fact that great players just want to walk out, to me, is a sign of a shit club.
A fair point, actually. It's a very fair point. All right, I'm going to chime in with that. I'm going to top that with the Titans. The Titans, often linked with big name players. I don't know what they're doing wrong. They either miss out on them or they get them and they turn to shit. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'd go through a list, but it is just too long. That and the fact that, again, on-field success. It's hard when you're in such an amazing part of Australia. You can't attract players. You know what I mean? Like, beautiful. So I'm throwing the Titans in there for sure.
You'd think in terms of, like, best places in Australia to live, the Gold Coast is up there, right?
Oh, it have to be. Have to be.
And in terms of catchment area, too, of players, they've got Queensland along. I know the Broncos take the lion's share, but how often are there a really pissed off Broncos player that wants out? Now they're going to the Dolphins.
Exactly.
If the Titans were even slightly less than a shit show, they'd probably get half these players.
Well, even now, apparently Tino's set to test the market, or if not, on his way to Perth. I know where I'd rather live, and it's not fucking Perth. Jesus.
That is true. Shout out to all the guys on the Gold Coast. It's one of those incredible places, but I feel for you. You've got a really terrible football team. And you can't, I mean, you can fault some of the players sometimes, but sometimes it's got to start at the top. We're talking about management here. We're talking about how these clubs have run. The Tigers fans are incredible. The Titans fans, all three of them, are fucking incredible. But the way the club is run is piss poor. I'll add another one here to the list. Chuck the Newcastle Knights in there because they have been shocking for a long time. They bring in Wayne Bennett. He does a terrible job, gets him to the semifinals, yes, but then guts the side so we get a whole bunch of wooden spoons in a row. Poor old Nathan Brown comes in, plays the guinea pig for a few years, gets absolutely towed up. As soon as he's got a half-decent side, they sack him. They bring in another coach who is untested, untried, and is still there right now doing stuff all. They signed Dylan Brown to a 10-year deal. Is that one of the worst contracts with someone who has not even made – I mean, they have to do something, but – oh, man, it's just disappointing. The Knights are just so poorly run from behind the scenes. It's sad.
It's a good take, actually. See, when you said that, my first thought went to the Knights, but I went to the Knights under Tinkler. I didn't factor in the Knights now. Oh, you guys have had it bad for how long?
That's so true. They are definitely better than they were Tinkler times. Like, Tinkler was bad.
But I will say they still packed that stadium out. Hats off.
Fans are the best.
That's unbelievable. All right. Well, you've thrown your precious Knights under the bus. I'm going to top that, and I'm going to throw Manly under the bus.
Wow.
Because in all honesty, it just seems that these owners just have no an idea. I will say, though, if you're 30 or over and you're looking for a final paycheck, head to the Northern Beaches. Manly will pick you up. Matt Lodge, Corey Waddell. You know what? I'd throw, if there was a chance of Manly going for Papali'i, he's still at 33. But in saying that,
right,
he's still playing good football. He's playing good football.
Yeah,
he is right
true.
down their alley.
Rule him out then.
like I said, yeah, he's playing good football. They won't sign him. Like I said, Tino's 25. He's the kind of forward Manly should be looking at. But if that 2 was a 3, sign him up. 100% that. And Four Pines now has the naming rights and they sell some shit beer. So that, I put that down to the fucking owners as well.
Can I also add something to your point to just make, maybe it is Manly. Maybe Manly has already won. But I would add to that, terrible coaching decisions.
Oh,
Trent Barrett?
Trent Barrett, Jesus Christ, yeah. Seabold.
Oh, mate.
I know. It's yeah.
I'd take the Knights and the Tigers back. I think you win.
Yeah. You know what? I'm intrigued to see what others think.
Yes.
I'm intrigued to find out who they think is the worst run NRL club from top to bottom. Factor in the shit beer if you want, because I certainly have.
Yeah. Terrible commutes, all that kind of shit. One other I think that definitely need to mention on here, because I know we'll get uproar if we don't mention them, the Dragons.
Yes,
and
definitely.
the reason I say that is all past players that leave. I was watching a video through the week of Jamie Soward, and basically he said they had some like past players reunion. I think it might have been a grand final reunion from memory. Basically, they hadn't even saved his phone number or email address. So basically they couldn't get in contact with him. They had to get someone to text him saying, hey, can you send us your details? And it's like, if he was a great player. Now, he left on bad terms, but he's still a great player for their club. I think that's piss poor. And I've heard that so many times from past players leaving going, they have just got no idea. And the players seem to love it when they first initially get there. But there's so many reports of just player unrest from management, which I think makes them one of the worst run clubs in the NRL.
Imagine not having even a past player's contact details. Yeah. Flicking them a DM on Insta or Twitter or something. Just
outrageous.
Hey, Jamie, it's us. Can you call us?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. All right. That's a pretty good list.
Mm.
The best part is there's other fans out there that would probably look at their club in a hell of a lot more depth than we have. I am intrigued. This is going to be a really good list. Yes. So basically, what are we pushing? Again, gold, silver, bronze. People, hit us with your worst run NRL clubs. And I will say, defunct clubs, I'm going to call it, they don't count. No Western Reds, no Adelaide Rams.
No
Gold Coast Seagulls. They've got to be current.
Got to be current.
There's a reason they're defunct, and it is probably the ownership. So they're ruled out. Definitely.
This video will be online. We're going to chuck a video up. You can vote on our socials at Talking Sport Report on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Now, there's been a lot of reports through the week. There's been a lot of rigging in the NRL. A lot of past players I've noticed saying that there's no doubt game 2 was a rig. To get the decider, we know there's big buckies involved.
Massive.
A decider makes coin. It makes Channel 9 ratings. And a game 3 dead rubber does stuff all for anybody. So it's probably a good thing, but what do you find? Like what's kind of taken your eye this week as we get close to Wednesday night's big game, the decider in Sydney?
Well, I'm just going to start by saying, now, is it the Blues camp is still in the Blue Mountains, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Yeah, because there's been a lot of report of
horse riding.
That and niggling injuries. Now, I don't know if the Blues should be concerned or whether or not these players are taking the piss and just enjoying a bit of R&R.
Right.
Like, in all
campfire sort of stuff?
Yeah. It's a perfect excuse. Oh, look, Loz, I don't feel well, mate. I've got a bit of tightness. Instead of going and seeing the physio to get a rub down, I'm just going to piss off and hit the links. Just do the back 9, mate. I won't do the full 18, just the back 9. I reckon, honestly, I don't think there's that many injuries. Chuck a compression on, get the word spreading through the Queensland camp that we're feeling a bit tired and we're a bit old. Mate, just enjoy it. You're on holiday effectively. You train year round. Like, how often, mid-season, do you get a call and go, oi, come hang out with the boys in the Blue Mountains, you'll love it. I reckon they've just looked at it and gone, oi, let's ditch the weight session tomorrow and we'll go catch a movie or something. What do you reckon? Well, mate, I'm not too concerned about these niggling injuries.
It's funny because you're actually right. And there's 3 major niggling injuries. Cleary and Jerome Luai. These guys have been playing and rooming together for many, many years. That just shouts a boys trip, doesn't it?
Absolutely it does. Absolutely. I can guarantee they're not on the physio table.
Guaranteed
down at the local on the corner.
Yeah.
I reckon Luai's got himself a steak and Cleary's gone the Palmer.
Yeah.
Or is it Palmy?
Well, depends.
Depends where you're from.
Maybe Laurie needs to activate Find My Phone on both those two, just to make sure. Because I mean that's a really good point.
See, those, you know what? Those two, they've got premierships, decent footballers. My concern now is, I don't know if he's really injured or if Utukamanu's just kind of got wind of what's doing. He's trying to play it himself. If you're the new boy, you got to be careful coming out and just, I'm a bit sore, Loz. I'm going to go hit the go-karts for the afternoon. I don't know. But honestly, I hope it gives Queensland a false sense of hope. I really do.
They've got a lot to play for. They've got some really big storylines. This is probably there's probably 2 major ones, right? That you'd say that everyone's written Queensland off. So there's actually 3. Everyone's written Queensland off once again for game 3. They think New South Wales is going to just walk over them. Yep. But there are 2 other massive ones, Scotty.
Yeah. Number 2 would be Billy's a grub. Or was that last week?
No, that was last week. That's just a constant. That just flows throughout. That's like, the underlying storyline. That's the headline.
No. In all seriousness, news that Cam Munster's father passed away.
Crazy. That's so sad.
Can you tell me what player is not going to come back and play grieving the loss of their father and not have a fucking blinder?
Yeah. Yeah,
now, he was
name me a player that wouldn't do that. Yeah, like that would come back, and then you go one step above that is the Cam Munster style game where he will go bananas.
Well, look at how well he played game 2.
Yeah.
If he comes out and goes one better, we are in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
So I honestly feel like he's going to come out and try and he'll give it his all. I mean, he always does, but given the circumstances,
that's super sad. That's super sad. Thoughts with Cam Munster and the family, because that would rock you. That would really rock you before a game, but it will definitely lift the Maroons to just go hard for Cam and his father and his family. The other one is Papali'i. Now, people were sort of asking whether he would get called into game 2, and they've scraped through by the absolute skin in their teeth to get the decider after Blues, couldn't goal kick to save themselves. But you got to think that he is a very, very storied and loved Queenslander, and they love bringing these guys back with an SOS kind of thing. Come and help us. He's a legend. He's going to go down as one of the greats.
Yeah.
they'll be trying to send him out with a win on a game that they've been told they can't win. And this is the sort of stuff that Queensland always seem to do. They bring a guy back and then they win the unwinnable game. So that's 3 things going in their favour that I don't like going into Wednesday night's game.
Exactly. Do you know what? And something that you and I hadn't discussed pre-show, but factor in the fact that the Hammer's now a single man.
Oh, he just, divorced?
Yeah, him and, give me a minute, who was his lady friend? NRLW player.
Oh, that was a new love, I thought.
Yeah.
So they weren't married, but they were hot. They were pretty hot and pretty hot and heavy.
Yeah. Is it Jamie Chapman?
Oh,
okay.
Jamie
Chapman? Yeah, Jamie Chapman. Over. So, mate, he's stepped into fullback. He would be fired up. Especially Daily Mail has revealed they split because of an X-rated video of the Hammer with another woman. Yeah.
Was it titled The Hammer?
It actually, I tell you, now is this a situation, because we've played a lot of cricket together and we love a good sledge.
Yeah.
Would you be a brave man to sledge the Hammer over this? Or do you think that a guy of that stature, of that size, using that as a sledge would probably result in you being probably 6 feet under that stadium by full time? Is that something the Blues might look at? Surely they're not that stupid.
Nah, for sure. Because you know what I think with the Hammer? I don't think anyone's scared of the Hammer, like in terms of like he'll throw a couple. Like you think about a Liam Martin or an Angus Crichton, they'd go, yeah, we'll take you any day of the week and punch you into the ground. But where that could backfire is he gets fired up and then is he like Speedy Gonzalez, just runs faster? Like as he gets more aggressive, he actually picks up kilometers of speed. Like if that's the case, then please don't say a word, because he's fast enough to
handle. He was hard enough to handle in game 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Keep your mouth shut. Don't target the Hammer. Don't mention any relationships ending. Don't mention any X-rated videos. Although if you do have it, flick it on over. Research purposes.
Just to see if the name matches the legend.
A Hammer.
Yeah.
If it is
he the Hammer?
leg.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I'm thinking about this through the week, Scotty, and we've been doing some of these blind rankings. So let's do another blind ranking right now. We want to do a State of Origin one. Of course, the theme of the Origin has been goal kicking and how piss poor both sides have been, but New South Wales worse than any. We want to do rank these 5 players, one being the best, one goal kick to save your life. Now, you've got me, so you're going to give me 5 Queenslanders, and I'm going to give you 5 New South Wales players.
Mm-hmm.
You kick it off.
Mm-hmm. All right. First cab off the rank, Billy Moore. Queenslander. One goal kick to save your life. Where are you putting him?
Well, this is a tough one, because if it was someone's head, I'd think he'd kick it off its shoulders. He was fired up. But to actually kick a ball between the posts, I'm going to put him at 5.
Well, that's the other thing too. Are we in front? Are we from the sideline? Are we after the siren? Is this Hazem El Masri versus the Knights style?
Wow.
Or
as we found out in game 1, sometimes it doesn't matter where you are, because even the best can miss from just 10 outside the post.
That's exactly right.
So no, I'm putting him at he's at 5.
Okay. All right. Are you ready for your next one?
Yeah.
Adrian Lamb.
Oh, yeah, halfback. Yeah. Look, he's pretty good. I feel like there's going to be someone better in the list.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to chuck him at 2, because I'm pretty confident he'll be able to put it over the line.
All right, then.
He'd get it in. So, yeah, you put him at 2.
Done? All right. Next one. Alfie Langer.
Alfie. He's good too. Why do I feel like he wasn't known for his goal kicking, because he's a little bit short? Where did he get the distance? But he can kick. I'm going to chuck him at 3.
Cool. All right, then. Oh, do you know what? I
feel good about that so far. So far, I'm happy with this.
I'm going to be honest with you. This has turned into the perfect list for you, because the next one I'll give you, are you ready? And I know exactly where you're going to put him, and it's going to free up number 1 spot. Daryl Broman. the big man.
Geez, I wish I put him at 5, to be fair, because he looks like a football. He's as rounded as he is high right there. But back in his playing days, he was a fit man. Put him at 4. Put him at 4. He's not going at 1, that's for sure. I'll take the punt.
You've just come up with the perfect list. So you've gone Billy Moore at 5, Darryl Broman at 4, Alan Langer at 3, Adrian Lamb at 2.
Who's my
the
number 1?
Jonathan Thurston. You've nailed that list.
I've never loved Queensland as much as I do right now.
Mate, I'll call it. And the podcast has been a fantastic episode. You've nailed that.
Fantastic. Let's give you your top 5. So again, 1 goal kick to save your life. These are New South Wales all-time legends. Where you putting Ricky Stewart?
Oh. If it was for a try out of nothing, Ricky'd be up there. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to throw Ricky in at 3. He's coming in the middle of the pack.
The big man, Payne Haas.
Oh, he's got to be 5. He's got to be. Again, I'd back him to save my life in a fight.
Yep.
I'd back him to make meters in Golden Point, but I'm not backing him to slot one for me. No way.
Okay. Latrell Mitchell.
2.
Latrell at 2.
I feel like
that.
you're going to come at me with, like I did with you, save the best till last. So I'm going to throw Latrell at 2.
Okay.
So if that's right, then my next one will be 4 and my last one will be 1. But hit me with my next. Who we got?
Bill Gould.
Oh, fuck. He should have been 5. Stitch me up here for me last one. Phil's going in at number 4. Gus is going in at 4.
So to rehash here, Payne Haas at 5, Phil Gould's at 4, Ricky Stewart at 3, Latrell Mitchell at 2, number 1, Andrew Johns.
Oh, I knew it. I absolutely knew it. Do you know what? Like you, the only change I'd make would be 4 for 5, I reckon. Yep. I'm happy with that list.
Shit, sorry. I forgot to tell you, it's current day Andrew Johns.
I'd still back him.
Yeah,
I'd still back him. 100% I would.
He can't turn to his left or his right, but God damn it, he can still kick a ball.
And then we'd hit King Street afterwards.
Yeah, you would be. That's a good point about 1. You can then go party with them, which I'm happy with Jonathan Thurston as well on mine. All right, so some other NRL general points that are happening right now that I think are worth chatting about. Kyle Flanagan, here's a point for you, has copped it a lot over the past, let's say, how many rounds are we in the NRL right now? Round 18? He's copped it the last 18 rounds. Has it gone too far? And I know he's not the best halfback in the game, but he's also not the worst. He's a younger kid who is on the up. He's trying to obviously extend his career and play some good football. He's not an older kid, but what I feel is the amount of pressure and bullying that's now come from Kyle on social media and all this heat around, certain people doing some heavy words on social to the point where, his father, who's also the head coach, Flanagan has basically come out and supported him and kept him in the 7 jersey. So the question would be, would he still be there if he was in any other club? But they may have made the call at the start of the year, hey, Kyle is our halfback for the whole year, and we're going to stick with him, which would be, if they did that, then awesome. But has it gone too far? Does he deserve the criticism, or is it too far?
Look, you messaged me about this earlier today, and I said to you, I'm like, no, I can't get on the support for Flanagan at all.
Yeah.
But you are right. There gets to a point where it becomes less of criticism and more bullying.
Yeah.
When it becomes bullying, that shit's got to stop. Criticism, you're in the job, you're getting paid, I'm assuming, fucking good money.
Yeah. It's
a job. Honestly, it doesn't look like a hard job in a sense that, he's not going in for a 9 to 5, battling traffic, getting home late, pulling reports, doing spreadsheets, shit like that. Criticism, taken on the chin all day. But when it becomes bullying, that's when you have to draw the line. You have
Yeah.
to. There's
I
better
feel for him, 'cause
halfbacks out there.
there is, but I feel for him though, because he won't succeed now. There's just too
No.
much pressure, too much attention on this now.
Yeah.
And I kind of almost wish his father would just pull the pin on it, because right now, this damage, we saw it back in the day at the Knights with Jared Mullen. He goes to Origin, didn't play well, playing against one of the greatest teams in history, come back to Clubland, and it was one of those careers that could have been so much better if he had more time to build himself into a play before he went to Origin.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Kyle Flanagan now, there's been so much hate thrown his way that I've got a feeling his career's done, man, because God, if he could find a way to fight back from this and actually there's just too much pressure on him now and too much hate coming his way. How can you perform under those circumstances?
Yeah, absolutely. Like my question is, why not give the guy a break? Give him a few weeks off. Lachlan Ilias is there. He's waiting to come in.
Yeah.
And at the moment, he's just a punching bag. He's playing in the New South Wales Cup. It's at that point now where you've really got to take a step back and go, "Oi, boy, have a couple of weeks off, eh? Go enjoy mum's home cooking. Sunday night roast. Go play some New South Wales Cup. Take the pressure off him. Take the pressure off himself, and give Lachlan Ilias a crack."
Surely, if you're a good father, as I think Shane is, you would see him walking out to the middle, and you'd just go in studs up, try and do do a knee injury for him. Just go, this is for your own good. You're now hurt. You need 3 or 4 weeks off. Just go in studs up.
Well,
it's going to be short-term pain for longer-term gain.
The other option is when he's tucking him in at night, just knock the bookcase on the way past. It comes down and hits him on the shin. Boom. Slight fracture, bit of a hairline in there.
Do you reckon
Have
they're
a couple
still
of
living
months
together?
No,
Sure they
definitely
are.
not.
I reckon they
Definitely
would
not.
be. They would be. They're like, we're both moving down to Wollongong. We may as well just fucking bunk together.
Do you reckon they still bath together?
Well, I'd say they must be definitely living together, because he would not want to have that conversation of at the breakfast table, "Dad, why'd you cut me?" kind of vibe. But anyway, we'll see where that gets to. It feels like it's coming to a head really soon, because there's even more pressure than ever before. A couple of players doing a bit of a merry-go-round at the moment with signings. This is always weird in the middle of the year when you start getting random signings, but it looks like the Lockie Galvin situation of them picking up, the Bulldogs picking up Lockie Galvin, has sort of come full circle now with a bunch of these Bulldogs players, which is also coincide with them losing a few games in a row. It doesn't look like it's roses right now in the Bulldogs camp.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, there's some players in there that are on their way out the door that got them where they are. Because I'll be honest, that loss, what was it, Friday night?
Yeah.
Fuck, where was Galvin during that?
Not good.
Not good. And they were killing it. Before Galvin arrived, they were absolutely destroying the competition to the point where you wouldn't think that Penrith had won the last 4 comps. You'd think that the Dogs had been a mainstay in the finals, a week away from making a grand final. That's the kind of team they've been this season. I don't know. I feel like it's doing them worse than good. They're going to lose some fucking quality footballers.
Well, they already have. So Reid Marnie is just signed with the Cowboys, right?
That's a bit of mongrel up there for him.
He's gone.
What a player.
Sexton signs with the English Super League club through the week. So there's 2 of their key players now. Off you go. Who through 16 rounds up until when did Lockie get there? Like sort of through 14 rounds, had them at number 1. They're now sitting are they sitting 3rd now, right?
I think they are.
Yeah, which is just nuts when you think about like where they were. Yeah, they're
They
3rd.
were destroying it.
Technically second on wins, but for and against puts them behind the Storm, who are now at 2.
Yeah, and wow. Actually, just looking at that now, 2 points behind the Raiders. I feel like this is an absolute shit show.
Hey, here's one for you. Unsolicited. Worst signings of all time.
Oh,
Dylan Brown at the Knights for 10 years for $400 million a season, whatever the figure is. Tavita Pangai Jr. to the Bulldogs for 3 years. He left after 1. He retired.
Yeah. Went to boxing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking
Jamal
hell.
Idris. Remember him?
Titans.
He went to the Titans, 5-year mega deal, made it 2 years and was released. Lockie Galvin to the Bulldogs has then resulted in Marnie and Sexton out of the club, and they go from first to third on a drop. Who's the worst signing of all time?
Any forward that's over 30 that Manly are interested in. But no, to be honest, it seems like Galvin's he's fucking causing more damage than he is doing good.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like they've set up they've completed that 1,000-piece puzzle by 1 or 2 pieces, and Galvin's just come in and just upended the fucking table and spit coffee everywhere and ruined it for fucking everyone. And you can tell Reid, Marnie and Sexton had put together 90% of that friggin' puzzle, and now they're out the door with the shits.
They're pissed off.
They are pissed off, and by rights too.
That's a fantastic way to look at it.
Jesus Christ. It was either going to be the puzzle or it was going to be a decent fucking piece of Lego.
Yeah.
I went with the puzzle.
Yeah, they were building the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
The Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
And it was the last little antenna when Galvin came in and kicked the board.
Just literally fucking put his foot through that thing, and it's just caused nothing but drama ever since.
The last thing to chat about before we
Christ.
move on to the next lot of stories happening is the Kangaroos head coach. This is interesting. So 3 months out from the Australian, the tour of England, I believe, isn't it? Or it's the next lot of internationals for Australia.
It's the Ashes, isn't it?
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying that Wayne Bennett is now the front runner to be the head coach, which if you think back to the start of this whole saga, they told Big Mal Meninga, one of the great legends of all time, hey, you've done a fucking brilliant job as the head coach of Australia, but now you're going to the Bears. So you need to resign from this role.
Yeah.
We're going to find someone else. All of a sudden, we're going to hire Freddie. No one told Freddie we're going to hire Freddie. So Freddie's like, there's no way I'm going in there now in 3 months turning this shit around. So he said no. Cam Smith puts his hand up but untested, untried. So now they're saying the front runner is Wayne Bennett. If you're Mal Meninga, are you saying, are you fucking serious? I was in the job. I have got a club. Wayne's got a club. What?
Yep.
My
What's the
club
difference?
isn't even around yet.
Yeah.
My club's a make-believe club until 27.
Yeah, exactly right.
Why
Exactly.
can't he
You know
just
what?
coach it then?
In all honesty, again, wouldn't be a hard fucking job. Look at the superstars at your choice, at your disposal. You'd be able to spend an hour a day tops on that job leading into this, simply picking players who you want, because at the end of the day, it's your call. I don't say, unless they've looked at it and gone, well, Mal's going to be too heavily focused on trying to recruit and build the club, whereas at the moment, Bennett's just coaching a team that's a shit show. They are as well in shambles. They are in shambles. This is more of a case of, fuck, boys, I can't help you any more than I have. I'm just going to duck out for a few hours, grab a coffee and make some calls. Be honest.
He just goes, I'm not coming in for a month. He's going to work on the national team for a month. You guys sort your shit out.
Just take it out of me sick leave, will you? We'll be right.
Yeah, that's fair. But if I'm Mal Meninga, I'm pissed off. But it looks like Wayne Bennett might be the next Kangaroos coach, which is funny, the whole scenario. So they're going to change the rules and we go from there.
We'll do it. We'll be right.
Wow.
It's not
if Cam
hard.
Smith can do it, why can't we do it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If Billy can coach Queensland, we can do it.
We've got the same amount of coaching experience as Cam, so we probably could do it.
Spot on.
That's it for NRL and Origin news. So big game this Wednesday, State of Origin. But yeah, lots happening in the world of rugby league.
So moving on, lots happening in the world, Eggo. Tragedy a few days ago, which has absolutely, it's rocked the world. Death of Liverpool superstar, Premier League winner, Diogo Jota. Him and his brother.
Sad.
Absolutely. Few days, probably 10 days maybe after marrying his high school sweetheart. He and his brother passed away in a car accident, which
Shattering.
is, yeah. But I mean, hats off to Liverpool Football Club. Did read that they are paying out the remainder of his contract to his wife and putting his children through school, which is massive from them. Hats off.
They have also handled this brilliantly. Like
Absolutely.
if any club around the world, like any NRL club, maybe the commission of the NRL should take note of how this is rolled out. Because if you had to write a blueprint of what do you do when one of your stars or any part of your organization was to pass away in a sad occasion or just pass away in general, like you just don't expect people of this superstardom to pass away. You feel like in a way they're immortal, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
They have blueprinted this. They've done such a brilliant job of keeping it classy and looking after the family and looking after everybody because the fans are shattered and it is the world game, football.
Given the circumstances, they have done exceptionally well. Lamborghini have recalled that model of car for safety concerns.
Yep.
But mate, absolute tragedy. And it I don't know, it got me thinking as to other athletes that died young. Not even died young, but died whilst still in sport, I guess. Not just players, fans. You go through some of the list. Owen Hart. Owen Hart was
wrestler.
Yeah, I think he was like mid-30s. Died before a match. Fell from 18 feet onto the turnbuckle.
Not before a match, died during a match.
Yeah, on his way to the ring.
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt, NASCAR driver, 49. That's young.
That is young, especially for a
Crash
NASCAR
in a
driver.
race. Absolutely. Then you think of not so much players, but fans. The Hillsborough disaster all those years ago. Liverpool, again, versus Nottingham Forest.
Yes.
You don't ever think you're heading out to watch sport and not going to come home. And for those 97 fans that passed, that was the case.
Crazy.
Absolute tragedy. And then there's
the stadium fell down, right? The stadium fell down.
The I think it was the fence or something behind collapsed, and it basically caused everyone just to come forward. So, it was basically people crushing others and things like that. Absolutely. And then a few close to home as well. You had a bit of a look.
Yeah, I noticed this too. Phil Hughes, wasn't that just a you remember exactly where you were when you heard the news about Phil Hughes dying from the bouncer, from Sean Abbott, SCG, hitting the back of the head. Basically, they said nothing they could have done to save him, no matter how early they got to him, the doctors afterwards, but basically died, 24 hours later in hospital in 2014. He was only 25, which is just shattering. That was a real tough one.
What a cricketer too.
He'd be in the side now, right? He'd be, sitting in his early 30s, still smashing it for Australia, no doubt. So that was a big one. I also look at Alex Pullen. Now you might remember him. He was a snowboarder. Died at 32 in a freak spearfishing accident, but this guy was a 3-time Australian Olympian and was our first ever world champion. The guy was a legend, and at 32 was just cleaning up, and that's just such a shattering one. And the other ones that I just jumped to, maybe more in the commentary side, but you don't expect him to die this young. Shane Warne at 52, Andrew Simons at 46. Again, 2 young deaths that you just don't expect. Again, you feel like these guys. You grow up watching them, or you've been watching them, you hear their name, you think they're immortal. It's just shattering. It's just such a sad thing. And this whole Diego Jota situation is just worldwide. People around the whole world are mourning, and it's just so sad.
Absolutely. Wow.
So what comes next now? So for Liverpool, because he was a main part of their squad, right? I mean, they've got the players. I know they're a pretty deep side, but that's going to make it harder for them. Or does it make them more passionate to go out there and win for him?
I think like similar to, say, Munster with his father.
Yeah.
I think this just gives them that little bit more to push on and go back to back. to be perfectly honest, it's probably not even in the forefront of their mind right now. But it's amazing because you think back on it, and mate, the amount of times that you'd check the scores the next morning and you'd see that Liverpool had scored one late to win, and it's Jota.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like he was just. It was like the fans just took to him straight away. You know, it'll take a little while for people to get over this, which is understandable. But apparently Liverpool have retired his shirt number, which
Amazing.
is again fantastic. You're right. The way that club has handled everything at the moment is just exceptional. You know,
Yeah.
hats off to them. So.
As an
Apologies.
Arsenal supporter, this is tough to say, but is Liverpool just the greatest club in the world? Like
Yeah.
the way they've handled it is just superb.
Absolutely. I got mates that are Liverpool fans that are absolutely devastated. Loved Jota. Apologies for sportsmen, athletes that we've missed in that list. That was just a few that we came up with. So it'll be interesting to see how, I guess I'm not being rude, but how life goes on now for Liverpool. But I'll be perfectly honest. It's hard to say, but I hope they go back to back for him at least.
Yep, absolutely for sure. All right, moving on to the cricket in the West Indies right now, and this has been an interesting one. So the Aussies come out, win game one. Was a bit of a basket case. Clearly, our bowlers are that good that we can basically pull a test out of nowhere, bat like shit, and then bowl well enough to defend any title, any target. The talking points currently, basically the Australian team are in the box seat to win Test 2 over there. So basically they're 7 down for 221 heading into day 3. So their lead of 254. So you'd think, considering they bowled the Windies out for 253, the highest total so far is 286 by Australia in the first innings. Yep. If they can push up towards 300, you'd think with our bowling attack, that may just bowl like the other hand for the sake of just some fun for this game, like bowl left-handed and right-handed depending on which way you go, just for a bit of fun. And I still think they'd still bowl pretty well because they're that good. You'd think the Australians should win this, but the interesting point is Webster scores runs in the first innings again. Carey scores runs. Smith looked like he was getting another 100, and Cam Green finally repays the selectors with some runs.
Absolutely.
Are you feeling better about our batting?
A little bit. I mean, Carey's not out as well, so he's got a chance to go back-to-back 50s, which will be fantastic for his confidence. But it's not so much a concern because there's still so much time. Yeah. But it's having an opener up there that's averaging about 8, give or take.
Yeah, Constant, right? So
yeah.
He's young enough. He's young enough, right? You got to give him. What do you reckon? Do you give him do you honestly say he's that young? He's got like a get out of jail free card for the next 18 months, no matter what happens. Do you just keep him in there?
Yeah, I think this is going to get to a point now where, I mean, the kid's 19, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Like fucking 19, I was still living at home. Yeah. This guy's traveling the world. Give him the Ashes. Like, do we turn around and go, mate, play the Ashes, see how it goes, and we'll go from there? Because at his age, he's got so much time on his side. Yeah. I do. I think it's now a case of give him the Ashes, see what he does, see where we end up. But then again, is the pressure going to get to him? Because the Ashes, you know yourself, that Barmy Army, those fans are fucking intense.
Yeah, I'm actually on his side on this one. You know why? The greatest bowler in the world right now is Bumrah, and he went at him like a bull to a red rag, right? He went after him. He was ramp-shotting him at the MCG on the Boxing Day test. Like,
he got under his skin, didn't he?
He got under his skin, and I've never seen Bumrah get like that. So the fact that he's like that in the bigger moments, maybe he's just a bigger moment player. And the Windies, no offense to them, but this is not. You wouldn't say this is the A game. You know what I mean? This is, they expected the Australians to win. And if they didn't win, no one's going to worry too much about this test in particular, this series. it's all about the Ashes. So right now we have got the bowlers, and you keep him there for that X factor because he's the kind of guy who can go out there and change a game for you. Same reason why we had Warner in the side back in the day. He can go out there and change a game for you. So you keep him in there and you just go, he's there to slap one of those English bowlers back over their heads, first ball of the Melbourne Test or in Brisbane or in Perth or whatever. I feel like he's going to have one of those moments come our summer. He'll rise to the occasion.
All right, I'm supporting this. I'm supporting this. Save that, because after the Ashes, we can pull that back and we can sit there and go, wow, you've nailed that. Or we can look at that and go, well, what other fucking predictions you got, dickhead?
Yeah. Listen here. Yeah, Nostradamus, you dumbass. Hey, this is also really funny, and it actually times into the Ashes brilliantly because I love this test series for us because we're playing the Windies, and over in England are playing India.
They're preparing.
They're playing Cricket 24 on the PlayStation, I feel, because they're on the easy settings. Can I just tell you that their test that they're in right now, this is outrageous, and this is not a typo. This is the second test. It's at Edgbaston. They're currently going into day 5. There has been 1,493 runs scored. What? They have put the easy setting on. They're hitting sixes over there for fun on both sides of the fence. Listen to these scores. India open up 587 runs. England in reply 407. India declare 427. Now England, back to the way they normally bat, 3 for 72.
What are they chasing? What are they chasing?
Well, they've still got now, so they're out there for 3 for 72. They are still, what's that? That's got to be 3 for 72. Oh God, they're still chasing 500 and something runs. Like that's just outrageous batting, isn't it? When you think about it, like it's just mind-boggling to think that that's even like a possibility that this many runs can be scored. Can I also tell you some of the figures in here? So Gill, who is an incredible batsman, in the first innings for India scores 269.
Jesus
in the second
Christ.
innings, he scores 161. So he's essentially scored 300s in one test match.
But that in a test match, that 161 came off 162 balls.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And don't worry, the 269 was off 387. So he wasn't going slow there either. He's going at 70 there, strike rate. Like,
wow.
Isn't that just nuts?
Who scored? Actually, I'm having to look myself now because this is intriguing. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this just takes me back to 18, 19 years old playing Ricky Ponting cricket with you on the Xbox. This is
smacking sixes for fun.
Yes. Trying to get that wagon wheel with like sixes everywhere. This is exactly how this looks. How many sixes were there in the first innings? I'm having a look. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 from India. England have then come out and hit 5 in reply. And now India have come out. Holy shit. India's second innings in a test match. Top of your head, how many sixes were hit?
20?
No, you fucking ruined it. You went too high.
Did that on purpose? I hate when people do that.
13 sixes.
Wow.
8 of them were hit by Gill.
Don't worry.
And
in that first innings, he hit 34s.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It's just one of those tests where you just go, what is going on there? So I guess it's going to be very interesting Ashes because they're getting enough batting practice over there, that's for sure. And they're getting enough fielding practice, clearly, with basically India wrapping up basically 1,000 runs on their own. That's just, I couldn't believe those numbers on that. But
do you know the best part about this?
What's that?
England won the toss and sent India into bat. Fuck. It's like that time we played at Chinaman's. I was captain and it was a fucking road. And I won the toss. And I'll come out and you're like, sweet, okay, who's opening? And I'm like, don't worry, we're bowling boys. And you're like, gee, lose the toss. I'm like, no, we've just got such a good fucking bowling attack. if it didn't rain that afternoon, we were fucking done.
Yeah, we were done.
We were
Absolutely.
done.
They were going to score 1,000,000 runs, and we just wouldn't have had time to score it all.
Holy
That's
shit.
funny. Well, there you go. That's what's happening right now in England, and it's just setting up what is going to be a very, very interesting Ashes coming up real soon.
It's time for Comment Club. Normally I ignore all the comments, and I get a lot of them. I've got to get paid for this crap.
Thank you, Mr. Donald Trump. He's had another big week in the news just quietly voicing our comment club. So comment club is very simple. If you comment on any of our Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube posts, you can also email us. We're at Talking Sport Report on all those Instagram socials, and talkingsportreport@gmail.com if you'd like to email us. Basically, we're going to kick off with a video we posted through the week because we again don't have enough time to read through everyone's comments for these posts for NRL's best fan base. We wanted to find out who was the best fan base in the NRL. We've asked everyone to vote. I've got the votes here. We like to do this on a podium just to stick with the, tradition of gold, silver, and bronze. Scotty, are you ready to find out who the NRL's best fan base is?
I am, because I'll be honest, I read some of these comments. I saw quite a passionate one. So I'm intrigued to see if this team does crack the top three and get themselves on the podium. I will tell you who that team is if you do name them in the top three. Hit me.
Rightio. Bronze medal tonight. Bronze medal. The Canberra Raiders.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. You can't argue that.
No, they're doing well.
And you called it yourself. You're going to any game in Canberra any time in the afternoon. You don't know if you're going to get -3 degrees, 3 degrees, or 13 degrees. Hats off. They deserve that.
I still remember that game and that footage of they're actually playing, and it was fucking snowing.
Fuck,
like, seriously. At what
that.
point do you just go, guys, let's just come back next week? I'll play 2 games in a weekend to save this shit.
Yeah.
So good on them. Canberra Raiders, you do have an incredible fan base. We basically want this. This is about the fans, how passionate they are, how much they want to support their club. That's what it's not about being the best club, but I do find that these teams do rise to the top when they are doing well.
That's true.
Silver medal.
Mm-hmm.
Silver medal. NRL's best fan base.
Yep.
It's a tie.
Oh, surely not Parramatta.
No.
Oh, fuck, of course not.
Brisbane
Jimmy.
Broncos and the Melbourne Storm.
Honestly thought the Broncos would have taken top spot here.
Yeah, so did I.
Wow. And yeah, Melbourne, my boss lived in Melbourne for a while. He went to a lot of games. He said that the fans there, whether it was the salary cap issue when they got the spoon, whether they're absolutely fucking dominating, they always showed up. But then again, so do Knights fans.
Yeah,
you won 48 wooden spoons in a row, yet you still pack out that stadium. Okay, that's fair. It's a shock because I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if the Broncos took gold.
Yeah, well, they didn't. Gold
Hit
medal.
me.
And the best NRL fan club, according to the votes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even about to say this. The Canterbury Bulldogs.
Oh, no.
They're the best.
Okay.
Do you feel like this is is this recency bias? I feel like, you got to give it to them. They are very, very passionate. You've only got to watch those scenes on the main street of Canterbury, where they were basically partying like they won the grand final a few weeks ago. They haven't been partying the last few weeks because the results haven't been going their way, but they're passionate. They're passionate.
They are. You can't argue with the passion. And yeah, they still show up. Still show up. Okay, not what I was anticipating, only because, and I'll name it. There was one comment that I did read from a Tigers fan.
Yes.
Very, very. It was a fantastic argument. You could tell there was passion just in that comment. I honestly thought they would have been up there for the fact that, like the Knights, years of, be honest, shit. but still show up and pack out those stadiums and that hill and, Well, hey, at the end of the day, that's not our choice.
Not our
The
choice.
fans have voted. The
Fans are
fans
fans.
have voted.
I can say in the special mentions,
What do you got?
the Tigers were in that. The Tigers were in the
Cool.
special mentions. Parramatta was in the special mentions.
Nah,
the
not buying it.
Waz
Yeah,
and the
fair.
Knights. And the
Yeah.
Knights.
That's fair.
They're your special
um,
mentions.
I'll take that. So, another fantastic list. Just to remind them, what's this week's?
Well, this week we're going all the way to the top
other
of
way.
the worst run clubs in the NRL.
Mhm.
So we'll find
And-
out next week how that goes.
And fucking don't hold back. Seriously, if you wanna throw profanities into your comments, we welcome it.
Yes.
And it's just gonna show just how much hatred and anger there is from fans talking about these clubs. Don't be shy. Throw it at us. Get vocal. Let us know.
A couple other great comments we've got this week that I have to read out. I think this could be the one you're speaking of, mate, because the NRL fanatic. This guy's a young fella. He's a very, very passionate Tiger supporter. And he wrote a comment on Tigers not even cracking this list because we were actually last week showcasing who we think should be on the list. And he wrote, this is, I think, the comment you saw. Yeah, the Tigers not even cracking this list is insane. We've gone through more pain and heartbreak, and the club has given us more reasons to leave than any other club in the NRL by far. So probably goes back to my other comment around the Tigers are the worst run club in the friggin' league. This is exactly the point from an actual fan.
Yep.
The fans continue to stick with them. We've gone through a depressing 14-year final drought. The longest drought is the Dragons with 7 years. And then the Titans, so that's the longest. And the next one is Dragons 7, Titans for 4 years. Everyone else besides the Dolphins, who only joined 2 years ago, has played finals since 2022. So we're bare minimum a top 4 fan base. I'll give you that, brother. He's a good
hats
little,
off.
good young man. Does some great
Fantastic
content.
comment.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram, _NRL_fanatic. He loves his Tigers. Another couple ones we last week I was wearing an orange cap, which is the Trail Snails. They are a legendary Brisbane, mainly based in Brisbane. They basically do running marathons. They run marathons, half marathons. They trek through the bush. The guys are legends. I bought their hat. I wore the hat on the podcast last week, and they wrote "sweet hat." And Scotty Math on there said, "Wow, what a great head." I think he mainly referred to the hat, but Scotty's a legendary, very, very good soccer player too, just quietly. And the Trail Snails are legends up in Brisbane. And I had to also mention this one because this is a personal DM. And this is from our good friend, Jimmy Haig.
Jimmy.
So, what I love about this one with Jimmy, he wrote in another good episode, legends. Love your work and the mentions, because we did mention him on last week's podcast because he was one
Good
of the
friend of the
comments.
show. Yep.
Good friend of the show. He obviously messaged us middle of the podcast. Because at the end of the podcast, I think you had a bit of a crack at him.
I mentioned something about a pen license, didn't I? I didn't get one. It was written, remember? It was written in crayon. He blew up. He wrote me.
He wrote back. He wrote, this is 14 minutes later, he writes back, "Fuck me, Dad. I've just heard the part about the pen license. Now I'm really fired up." So a good trap for anyone who is a fan of the show. If you do comment and you are going to write us a nice supportive message, make sure you listen to the whole podcast first before you write your original message. We love Jimmy. We love him so much.
That's fucking done me. That's fantastic.
All right, time to wrap up the show. But we can't wrap up the show, Scotty, without Scotty's tip of the week. This is where we give you $1,000 of fake money. At the end of the year, we're going to tally up your winnings and see where you're at. Last week, how'd we go?
I got 4 from 6. So
that was a multi.
Yeah, it was the World Club fucking FIFA World Club Cup shit. And fucking Inter Milan let me down. And then I think fucking maybe City let me down.
Right.
I gave
So how
up
much do we
after-
win? How much do we win with $1,000?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
We
So
didn't.
you-
No, we
all right.
didn't
So
fucking win
we're
anything.
down $1,000 heading
Yes.
into week 2. Where are you
Yes,
taking us to
but-
get us this money back?
We're going to come back and we're going fucking hard this week. And we're going to come back with a vengeance. So we're going to Origin. We're going to
I
Origin.
like this.
We're going a
Wednesday night.
3-leg same game multi.
Oh, I like this.
And,
This gives you
yeah.
a chance. Whereas the 8, 9, and 10 leggers that you've been throwing out there lately does make it hard.
Well, my problem is 2 of these legs came up in the last game. The third
as in
leg,
they hit.
yes.
Okay.
The third leg, I've been on in the last 2 games, and they haven't fucking hit. So this is the week, right? You ready? Anytime try scorers.
Yep.
Brian Jota.
Yep.
We're
Surely
going-
that gets off.
I'll get off if this gets up. We've got a heartbroken hammer to go over for 2 or more.
Oh, that's a tough one. But that's
he's
good,
playing
good
fullback.
odds. Yeah, he's playing fullback. Yep.
And the leg that I've been on for the last 2 games that hasn't come through, Latrell anytime.
Oh, so all try scorers.
All try scorers. So we're going to put 1,000 of our Talking Sport Report budget on it.
Bang.
And this will put us in the green all year. This will mean that we'll have a good Christmas party, you and I,
What's the
because
paying?
that is going to return us $23,750 for 1,000.
Wow. Now, if this
So-
doesn't come off, can I just give you a bit of just a word of advice? You've got $1,000.
Yes.
You don't have to spend it all at once on a multi. You can have a couple, but I like the confidence.
Oh, well, fuck, I don't want to be tracking 4 or 5 bets. Just go hard or go home.
I'm with you there.
Seriously. And just remember, good friend of the show, Jimmy Haig, as he always says, never cash out.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't either.
Yep. Yep. So if Latrell scores and the Hammers got 2 by half time and we're looking at a $15,000 payout, never cash out.
Right. Well, let's see how you go. Everyone
There
can
we
play
go.
along during the game. If it's an easy one to follow. I like these ones because I know that it's just try scoring.
Yep,
That's
short and
good.
sweet.
So big game on Wednesday for Scotty and your tip of the week. We're down $1,000. Let's see how we go. We might be down 2 or we could be up 24, which is
22,750 will be up. So
Fantastic.
21. Yeah. Let's just get the win. Then we'll have a nice Christmas party.
100%. Well, that's the end of it. So if that's the end of episode 10, can you believe it? 10 episodes done in the can. Please, if you haven't already and you're listening to this right now, jump on. It means the absolute world to us if you could give us a subscription on Apple or Spotify, wherever you're doing your podcast. Give us a 5-star review if you get a chance as well.
Please.
All this sort of feedback and helps make our podcast successful. You can watch this full video back, of course, on Spotify podcasts, or we also chuck it up on YouTube if you want to watch our podcast back. Please give us a like and a follow on all our socials at Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Talking Sport Report. And I've got to say this, a word without notice, Scotty. Merch incoming. That we've just made this new logo with us as caricatures, and you've been hot at work trying to get some merch for us.
I wasn't going to say anything yet because at the end of the day, we want quality, not quantity. So we'll start small, but it is in the works.
Yes.
Leave it with me. Watch this space. It'll be a lot easier if this multi gets up Wednesday. Then we can just buy cars and wrap them.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what we're going to do is once we get this merch that's all hush-hush, we're going to open up our email, talkingsportreport@gmail.com, and we're going to read one email out a week. And whatever email gets read out is going to get some free merch sent their way. So you're going to get whatever Scotty racks up. And I know you're using your mother with this, so she's helping you out by getting you some merch. So
Tess has given us a hand.
Love that. Love that.
We'll sort something out.
Okay. Until next week, we'll be back same time, Sunday night for Talking Sport Report, episode 11. Have a great Origin time. Scotty, love you.
As always, been a pleasure. Love ya.